Rise and shine, change makers. This is Glen, Guyton, keynote speaker and workplace trainer. It's time for our executive coffee break. I got my beverage in hand. Hopefully, you have yours too. They say you can't choose your family, but you can choose your coffee, tea, kombucha, whatever you're drinking this morning. This morning, I'm drinking uh, tea, believe it or not, English breakfast tea. But you can also choose your workplace culture. A vibrant workplace is all about the perfect blend of trust, diversity, and wellness. And today, we're going to talk about employee engagement. We hear a lot about employee engagement. Why is it important? Why does it matter? What does it look like if we have an engaged employee? So, employee engagement is an important thing. I do believe it's important. Employee engagement refers to the level of enthusiasm and also the connection employees feel toward their work, toward the work environment, their role in the organization, how they feel about their work colleagues, and the organization itself. And so this employee engagement is kind of a complicated thing, right? It's a multifaceted thing that, as we think about our employees, encompasses their emotional feelings, their psychological uh, mindset, and other behavioral components. That's what we think about when we're talking about engagement. How satisfied they are with the job, the pride that they have when they come to the workplace, and their motivation to go above and beyond their stated responsibilities or their job descriptions. You ever have an employee say, "Hey, well, that's not in my job description." Does that mean the employee is disengaged? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you're asking too much. But if the sole focus is I'm going to only do exactly what it said in my job description, that that employee probably is not highly motivated, not very engaged, and really doesn't have a connection to the organization beyond that paycheck. Now that's a touchy thing, right? When you have teams and um, with job descriptions and contracts, you can't have people all over the place, right? You do have to have some clearly defined roles and responsibilities, and you don't want people to feel like either you're taking away some of their responsibilities and giving it to someone else, or that you don't trust them. So it's really good to have clearly defined roles in your workplace. But how does that translate when we think about employee engagement? So maybe I should start off and say, what does a disengaged employee look like? And it's funny we use that word engagement, right? It's kind of like, even as we think of like a marriage, right? It's a relationship. The work job relationship or connection is it's relationship. It's almost like being married, and some of us see our work people more than we see our blood relatives in our homes. We spend a lot of time at work. Maybe that's changing now that we have more remote work, but it's something to think about. Uh, how much time we spend with our coworkers versus the time we spent with our families. So, what does a disengaged employee look like? They probably have minimal effort in task, whatever that is, whatever they're called to do. They just do the bare minimum. They lack initiative or creativity, which is something I really value as a supervisor, as a leader. I don't want to have to tell people everything to do and how to do it. I want them to surprise me, right? Disengaged employees are not going to surprise you. They're going to do exactly what they're supposed to do, or maybe even a little bit less. The disengaged employee avoids participation in team or company activities. Now, there are times when all of us want to disengage, right? Sometimes we just don't want to be bothered with some of the fun activities at work, or the extras. We work hard, and when it's time for us to be off, we want to be off. But as we enter into this new working situation where we have hybrid working, it's really going to be crucial that we pay attention to employee engagement, because the opportunities to meet face to face in many companies is a lot less. So how do we maintain the relationship, the right work relationship, and to get people to participate in these bonding activities that we need at work? We do need bonding activities. We have to gel as a team. We have to go through all the phases of team formation. And so if someone is working hybrid or working remotely, and then they don't participate in the extra stuff, uh, then we may have a problem, right? We have a problem that damages the overall workplace culture, and that's what I talk about, right? Workplace culture. All of this is about how do we build those connections in the workplace. That's what engagement is about. How do we commit to one another? How do we build those connections? People that are disengaged often have low morale, low motivation, and that spreads throughout the organization. Also, uh, they're really not trying to do more, right? They're just trying to work. They don't care about promotion. They don't care about upskilling. They don't care about any of the other incentives to grow and get better. Now, some of that is fine. Everyone in the workplace can't be ambitious. Everyone is not going to be promoted to the next level, and so we have to learn the difference as leaders, the difference between someone that's just satisfied and someone that's disengaged and more leaning more toward being toxic or at the very least unhelpful in the workplace. So our highly engaged employee will be totally different. Let me give you an example of this. I go out to eat, right? I go out to eat. I travel a lot, and I've been through a number of airports and a number of places. And I went to this restaurant in the Minneapolis airport. I'll name the airport. I won't name the restaurant. But the workers were like so disengaged. Like they didn't look at you. It was kind of like, what you gonna have? What else? Next order. What you gonna have? What else? I'm like, I don't even want to give these people my money. As a matter of fact, I like the restaurant too. It's one of my. It's a restaurant that I really like. It's a kind of a semi fast food place, and I like it. But I'm not going there in the Minneapolis airport anymore. Why? Because the customer service is horrible. The people are so disengaged. It's like they're mad to be at work. Like they're so angry. You know that song, "Take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more." What? They're still working there, and they're saying, "Take this job and shove it. I'm gonna work here, and I'm gonna make everybody miserable." That's what a disengaged employee does. And it's a little bit different maybe in the corporate environment, but there are some people in your workplace that you hate to see. Like, man, I don't want to talk to them. They're so miserable. They're making my life miserable, and I don't even want to see them anymore. I'm going to stay at home. I'm going to work remotely. So you wonder why you're having trouble getting people back in the office? Probably because you have some disengaged, toxic employees. But now I've been to some restaurants where people are just great. Like, hey, how you doing today? It's so good to see you. What are you gonna have? Well, I would recommend this. I would recommend that. I really like this. So it makes you feel good. Like, man, I'm gonna come back here. Let me give you a little bit of extra mashed potato or whatever. It makes you feel good. Hey, I'm gonna give this person a big tip. I'm coming back. I'm gonna tell all my friends about this restaurant. Why? Because that employee server is engaged. It makes a big difference. And so we want to think about making sure we engage our employees because it does have some significant effects on our business. We talk about productivity. Engaged workers are going to do things a little bit faster, a little bit smarter. The quality of work. Engaged employees are going to take their time and do things the right way. So I mean, they can be faster as far as getting things out, but what I'm saying is they're going to pay attention to making sure things are right, that things look good, that things are up to standards, that are up to specs. They're not going to waste your time and waste your money. Employee retention. That's the third thing. Employee retention is really a sign of how well people are engaged. If people like coming to work, if they like their coworkers, they're gonna continue to work in their job. I've worked some jobs where I've stayed probably longer than I should because I liked my coworkers. Like I was ready to move on, but I didn't necessarily like the organization as much as I like my coworkers. Uh, yeah, so yeah, it's kind of weird, right? You could have a good culture, but not like some other things about the environment. But again, that workplace culture involves how the employees relate to one another, how they connect. Uh, Better health and well-being. We talk about well-being. All these things are connected. Employee engagement, health, and well-being. Uh, if you got a little sniffle and you hate your job, you're probably going to stay home. If you got a little sniffle, maybe you should stay home, but you love your job, you love the environment, you know people are dependent on you. You're going to probably go to work. Now that may or may not be healthy, right? And maybe some generations aren't as inclined to do that as Generation X or baby boomers. But if you enjoy your job, you enjoy what you do, it's going to make you feel better. And so you'll be less likely to probably to call out sick. You know, you might just find that boost of energy that you need to go into the workplace. And I don't encourage you going into the workplace if you are actually sick. But sometimes you just, yeah, my head's hurt today. I don't feel like going in. I'm calling in sick. You know, it's nothing contagious, but I just don't feel motivated to go into the office. We want people to feel motivated. Engaged employees really lead to a strong company culture. I've been places. I went to a hotel one time, and I was picked up by someone to take me to the hotel, and the driver like knew everything about the hotel, the history of the hotel, and he was just so excited about working there. I was like, man, this must be a great hotel. And he was just the driver, the guy that picked up people. He was that first line of interaction between me and the hotel. The hotel was really nice, but all of the staff was really good, really helpful, and so I recognized the culture as soon as I got picked up from the airport. Number six, all that leads to high customer satisfaction. That's what we want, right? We want our customers, our clients, to be highly satisfied. In order to have that, we have to have strong engagement, which again breeds to healthy, productive employees that really resonate with our culture. And then overall, last thing, number seven, at the end of the day, you're in business to make money. Bottom line, right? You're in business to make money. You want to make money for whatever reason you want to make that money. You want to make money. And if we have engaged employees, there's going to be better financial performance. There's going to be less shrinkage, less theft. I think disengaged employees probably like, hey, you owe me something. Let me take a stack of these notebooks home. Let me skim a little bit here or skim a little bit there, because they don't care about the organization. They're just in it for themselves. And so we want to create an environment where employees are engaged, where they feel cared for, and that they take as much pride in the success of the organization as they take in their personal success. So those are things that we should think about when we want to when we wonder why engagement matters. We hear that term, employee engagement. What does it matter? Well, you have to create that environment so all of your employees feel welcome. They feel like they belong. They understand why they are there. That's one of the key things, is helping your employees understand their mission and how they fit into the overall uh, mission of the organization, the success of the organization. And you have to make them partners, right? You don't want to engage someone and then they keep you at a distance. No, they have to feel like, hey, we are in this thing together, that we matter, the work that we do matters, and that it will contribute to the overall success of the organization, and that I'm a partner in that we are a team. That's how you start uh, developing that sense of engagement in the organization. Well, it's time for us to say goodbye. So as we say goodbye today, let's not forget the strength and perseverance that it takes to lead with empathy and inclusivity. So to everyone of you out there leading the charge for a more supportive and engaging workplace, know that your passion, your engagement fuels progress. So stay bold, stay inspired, and let's keep brewing success together. You all have a great day.